Hello and welcome, friends. Today, this is the second lecture we are dealing with 1.8 Voyaging Towards Excellence. In the last lecture, we have gone through the activities provided in the icebreakers section, and we have also gone through the biographical details of the writer provided at the beginning of this text. From today's lecture, we will start dealing with the actual text. Friends, let's see the first paragraph of this text. First, I will go through the paragraph and then I will provide you the explanation of this paragraph. I had a very simple upbringing. We were a lower middle class family. Our 300 square feet house did not even have basic amenities such as a fan, a refrigerator, a geyser, a dining table, or a gas stove, leave alone an air conditioner or a car. It was only when I entered the college that I got a watch and we got a dining table and a gas stove at home. Nevertheless, culturally, I had a rich childhood. Poets like Vinda Karandikar, Mangesh Padgaonkar, and Vasant Bapat used to visit our home, and for hours I could listen to the discussions about poetry and literature, Marathi and English. They used to talk about Keshav Sood, Mardhekar, Shakespeare, Charles Dickens, and Thomas Hardy. I did not fully understand their discussions in depth, but I was immensely impressed. We also were lucky to have Pandit Kumar Gandharv, Pandit Bhimsen Joshi, and Pandit Jasraj visit our place and talk about Indian music till late night or sometimes dawn. This is how and why I developed my interest in literature and music during my school days. I did not even today don't understand the grammar of music, but I began to love it tremendously since then. So, in this first paragraph, writer talks about his upbringing. He tells us that he was from a middle class family, lived in a 300 square feet house, which lacked basic facilities like fan, refrigerator, geyser, dining table, or a gas stove, and air conditioner and a car were a distant dream. Writer tells us he got a watch when he entered into the college. So, this paragraph tells us that, at one hand, materially, the writer had a very humble background, whereas, on the other hand, culturally, he got a very rich background. He tells us about the visit of great Marathi poets like Vinda Karandikar, Mangesh Padgaonkar, and Vasant Bapat to his home, and how he used to listen to their discussions about Marathi and English literature. Writer says their subjects of discussions were Keshav Soot, Mardhekar, Shakespeare, Charles Dickens, Thomas Hardy, etc. The way Marathi literary stalwarts used to visit his house, in the same way, Indian musical maestros like Pandit Kumar Gandharv, Pandit Bhimsen Joshi, and Pandit Jashraj also used to visit his place, and writer remembered their discussion about Indian music. Now, let me read the second paragraph. Most of the times, the topics of discussions at our home were about music, literature, paintings, sculptures, etc. I could listen to the discussions about Van Gogh, Mozart, and Michelangelo, etc. It was because of such a milieu around me that I had a firm belief, which I still hold, that all arts are equally, if not more important in our lives than science or technology. I had learned from my childhood that money does not mean everything in life. It is necessary, but if at all there is something which enriches our lives and puts meaning to our existence, it is the arts, music, and literature. In this paragraph, we see writer considering himself lucky to have such a culturally rich upbringing. For his interest in music and literature, writer gave credit to this culturally rich childhood. In this paragraph, writer tells us that most of the times at home they used to talk about music, literature, paintings, sculptures, etc. Writer used to listen discussions about Van Gogh, Mozart, Michelangelo, etc. And students, do you know who these people were? Van Gogh was a Dutch painter. Mozart was a prolific and influential composer of the classical period, whereas Michelangelo was an Italian sculptor, painter, and architect. Because of such a culturally rich environment, writer believes that all arts are as important as science and technology. In our lives, writer says, his childhood had taught him that money means not everything in life. But yes, money has its place in our life. But what truly enriches our lives and provides meaning to our existence is arts, music, and literature. So, this is what writer tells us in the second paragraph. Now, we'll deal with the third paragraph provided on page number 79. The third paragraph reads, this is not to say that I did not like science or mathematics. In fact, I loved these subjects. However, I did not study them only for scoring maximum marks in the examinations. I used to study these subjects or any subject for that matter for its inherent beauty. I found Newton's law of motion beautiful and Pythagorean theorem elegant. I loved solving problems of physics and mathematics of the ninth standard when I was in the seventh, not to show off, but just because I used to get involved in solving them. I used I used to love problem solving and used to enjoy finding out the most elegant method of solving them. Obviously, these problems were not a part of the curriculum, but I enjoyed the whole process. This attitude of looking beyond marks or examinations and to seek joy in solving any challenging problem helped me to develop a problem solving attitude, which came handy when I appeared for my IIT entrance JEE, because this exam is completely based on your problem solving ability and the ability to think not only logically but quickly and rapidly. Friends, this is a paragraph where writer tells us that his love for arts and music didn't mean that he did not like science and mathematics. Being a true student, his primary objective was not to score marks, but to study the inherent beauty of these subjects. For him, Newton's law of motion was beautiful and Pythagorean theorem was graceful. He was an extraordinary student. When he was in class 7th, he loved to solve problems of ninth class. He used to enjoy the process of solving the most graceful way of solving a problem other than curriculum. Writer says this attitude of looking beyond marks or examination and enjoying solving challenges developed a problem solving attitude in him, and this helped him in the IIT examination, which is based on problem solving ability and also the ability to think not only logically but also quickly. Now, let me read the next paragraph. I scored 100% marks in mathematics in almost all the examinations that I appeared for, from my first standard until IIT, barring only a few times. I stood 16th in the SSC board into bracket. At that time, this examination was for the whole of Maharashtra, including Nagpur, bracket complete. And I stood first in the university in all subjects put together. Those days, you could get an admission into IIT without the entrance test JEE if you had secured the first rank in the university. Therefore, I did not have to appear for the entrance test to get the admission into IIT. But nobody in Solapur told me about it. For I doubt if anybody in Solapur even knew about this rule. Therefore, I appeared for the entrance examination and I secured a good rank in the same. This is a paragraph where writer tells us that he was so good at mathematics that he had scored 100% marks in almost all the exams from first standard to IIT except a few times. He was 16th in the SSC board exam and first in the university in all subjects put together. Writer tells us about an unawareness, or we can say lack of knowledge of people from Solapur regarding a rule of admission into IIT. What was that rule? If a student stood first in the university, he did not need to appear for the JEE entrance exam of IIT. But due to unawareness of this rule, he appeared for the exam and scored good marks. Now, the next paragraph reads, I was quite happy getting into IIT, but my joy was short lived. At Solapur, I had not seen any building which was more than 3 storied. Mumbai, however, was full of skyscrapers. At IIT, most of the students and professors used to converse in English, whereas my English was very poor. I had my entire education in Marathi. My spoken English was quite pathetic. Not only did I have a very weak vocabulary, but my pronunciation also was terrible, and my construction of English sentences very awkward to say the least. Due to all this, I was feeling quite lonely and terrified in Mumbai in general and IIT in particular. I had developed an inferiority complex and wanted to run away from IIT and even Mumbai. In this paragraph, writer narrates us his experience of IIT. First, he states us the difference between Solapur and Mumbai. Then he tells us about his problem, that is speaking English. In IIT, most of the students and professors used to communicate in English, and as far as writer was concerned, his English was pathetic. He was weak at vocabulary, at pronunciations, and his sentence construction was terrible. As a result, he started feeling lonely and developed an inferiority complex, and as a result, wanted to run away from IIT and even from Mumbai. Now, few questions on the part we have studied. Question number 1. What does rich childhood mean? Students, rich childhood doesn't mean a luxurious childhood filled with delights that money can buy. Here, rich childhood means culturally rich childhood. Second question is, how do arts, music, and literature enrich our lives? Students, arts, music, and literature can increase well being directly as well as indirectly foster skills and abilities that contribute to psychological well being in the long term. Arts, music, and literature may not only provide temporary nourishment for a good life but teach us lasting skills. And question number 3, why should you study any subject? Students, we should not study any subject only to score more marks and gain higher ranks. We should study any subject to gain an in depth understanding of that subject. We should study any subject for the inherent beauty of that subject. That is what Achyut Godbole wants to convey us through his biographical sketch. So, this is the end of the session. See you in the next video with the remaining part of this lesson, Voyaging Towards Excellence.